Hello all and welcome, and I am the MGTOW philosopher. And in this video, I would like to talk about a book I came across that was written by a fellow by the name of Rodney Hand. Now, the reason I'd like to talk about this book is that the advice given in the advertisement that I saw in the advertisement for this book, it's so funny and so off base that I think Rodney is going to be needing and likely does need his hand, so much so that it's no surprise that the word hand is part of his name. And I also want to comment on it because on his website, he makes a point of speaking directly to MGTOW guys and telling us what we should do. And in his address to us, MGTOW, he makes it very clear that A, he doesn't understand much of anything about MGTOW, and B, he simply sees us as a bunch of losers who need help getting laid. Anyhow, his online advertisement for his book is hilarious, so I wanted to share it with y'all. Now, you'll find the link to the advertisement in the video's description. So anyhow, let's begin, shall we? So the title starts out with the head of household. I guess that's where it's posted. The link is the head of household, and there's a picture of his book there with a giant X on it, and the name of the book is The Modern Male-Led Relationship. Now, that should key in right there that there's a problem, the modern male-led relationship. What that means is that you as a man have to become more progressive and become more modern and start making sacrifices, sacrifice your manhood, become a modern-day man so that you can have a relationship, whatever the hell that means. You got to be more progressive is essentially what it means. And move your ideas into the present day because you're clearly stuck in the past if you're a MGTOW guy. And then to the left of the book is a picture of Uncle Sam pointing at you, essentially saying, I suppose, get your act together and get in a relationship with a woman. At least that's what I see. And then to the left of that is his summary of his ideas. And it says, attention, MGTOW. There are MGTOW out there. Yeah, that's right. There are. Good observation. Men going their own way. Well, at least he knows what that means, but that's about all he knows. Then he goes on to say, I'm speaking to you all directly. Yeah, okay, we got that. You said MGTOW, guys. Who else are you going to be speaking to? Stop and listen. Your life depends on it. Oh, okay. Trying to shock and awe us into listening. It must be so important. Heed my words. Why should we heed your words? Okay, we have no knowledge of just how much you may or may not know. Well, let's see what you have to say. You have made a big mistake. Really? What mistake is that? It may not be too late. What? What? I'm eating the wrong thing? I'm eating too much sugar? What? What did I do? Did I buy a car that has some kind of a problem with it? Do I need to take the car back? Is it under recall? What? Are all modern women brat-like, rude, disrespectful, he says? Yes. Oh, this is about women. But I got to heed your words. My life might depend on it. Well, I don't think so because I've already decided to go my own way. So unless what you're saying is my life depends on it getting with a woman, which I would disagree with, I don't see how it in any way is my life being dependent on what you have to say. But let's see. Yes, they're all brat-like, rude, and disrespectful, but do not turn your back on them. What? Why not turn my back on them? What do I have to gain? So he continues by saying, do all modern women deserve a spanking? Yes. Yeah, but are they going to let me spank them? No. So where's the fun? Listen to me, says Rodney Hand. I need you to understand this one thing. It is not their fault. Well, I mean, people are responsible for their actions, and insofar as they are the ones that perpetuate the actions that cause the problems, yes. Now, of course, I will admit that it is really the establishment's fault, the global elite's fault, the politicians' fault, for essentially allowing women to run amok, and it's their own natures to be this way, but it's their nature. It's not like some other dude's nature who's holding a fucking gun to their head and saying, do this or I'll blow your head off. It's them. They're the ones making these choices. So, yeah, it is their fault. Women have been lied to, he says. They've been led to believe they're strong, just as you have been led to believe you are weak. I'll agree with that. Sure, you've had a rough ride. You married a bitch. You let her wear the pants. You're speaking to the wrong guy. So automatically what he's assuming, he's making some big assumptions here. So he's trying to pander and cater to an audience that he doesn't understand. I've never been married, dude. I've never been married. So you are way off base. And a lot of MGTOW guys have not been married. So automatically he jumps to the feminist assumption that we've gone MGTOW because we ourselves have been somehow horribly hurt by women, and our going MGTOW isn't some kind of rational, logical reaction based on critical thinking, or an action based on critical thinking and weighing the positives and the negatives and choosing in favor of going our own way because getting with a woman has too many cons and not enough pros. Oh no, it's not that. We're just emotional like women and we got hurt. Okay. But do you know the real reasons your marriage went down the toilet? Marriage? I've never been married. So clearly, you've made some assumptions about MGTOW, which are very, very false in the large scheme of things. Learn from your mistakes. Do not skulk into the shadows like pathetic fools. Okay, so those MGTOW guys that have been married and have had those bad experiences and have gone MGTOW because of them are fools. Okay, I disagree with you there. And you're assuming that all MGTOW guys have somehow decided to be what they are based on emotion, not based on statistics and facts, and essentially using critical thinking to weigh the pros and the cons of the relationship. Okay, stand strong, staunch, and able to bear scrutiny of your forefathers' gaze. What? The fuck you talking about, my forefathers' gaze? Pal, you either want me to be a modern man or you want me to be like the guys were in 1776. What you need to do, he says in large, bold-faced letters. Fine, go your own way, but get women to come with you. What? What are you talking about? Wait, go with me? Go with me where? And by the way, isn't it a contradiction if I say I'm going my own way and then women are going to go with me? Then it's not my own way. Instead of running like scared mice. Okay, so now I'm already pissed. So this guy is associating MGTOW with scared mice and going our own way. We're running scared from women. We're not making logical, rational, reasonable, calculated choices. No. We're reacting based on emotion. Wrong. Be firm and unyielding in response to their scallywag tricks. Oh, God. This book looks to me to be nothing more than something that would fuel a good fire. To be happy, a woman needs to be kept well fucked. Yeah. No, they need a lot more than that, buddy. You can't make them happy. That's the whole problem. They've been so spoiled and they're so entitled, it doesn't matter. It won't matter. Well spanked, and most importantly of all, she wants someone better than her. No, because for a woman, sex is nothing more than a tool to get her own way. Well spanked, it's not worth the trouble. They're not going to change them. They get too many entitlements. They get too many little free goodies from the government and society and culture. So spanking isn't going to have any effect. You expect her to give up all her free little goodies and her privileged status in society for what? Good spanking? A fuck? When the vibrator can do the job? I don't think so. And by the way, a woman can just open her legs right up and she'll have 20, 30 guys lined up to bang her. You are overestimating the value of sex to her. Of course, you just want to sell a book. She wants someone better than her. Well, that's everyone. So you're wrong. What she wants is someone who makes more money than her. In that sense, you're right if you mean by better that they make more money. Absolutely. Be the man that you were born to be, and you will find that you have a happy life. I am being the man that I was born to be. I mean the man that I was born to be. I'm choosing to go my own way and thereby fulfill my potential, which would be drained dry. The reservoirs of my strength and my resources and my money and my ambition would be drained by a woman. Women are dream killers, my friend. I need to write a book for you because you don't seem to understand reality. Any man that eschews his responsibility to discipline and teach his woman is weak. Really? His woman? First of all, we don't own women. We never did. And so they were never pressed to begin with. So this whole notion of ownership is bullshit. Unless you look at it the way of mutual ownership, she owned us, we owned her. In that sense, you could say that was correct. But honestly, discipline and teach his woman? How? There's no incentivization there. If I supposedly discipline her, how? How am I going to discipline her? Am I going to put a leash on her? Beat her like a dog? What the hell can I possibly do? Take away her allowance? What allowance? She'll divorce you and take half your shit, buddy. You don't have to be powerless, weak, and unable to take control of modern women. That's right. I can walk away, which is what I did, because if you get with a woman, you are powerless and have no control. They have all the control. The courts have seen to that. No fault divorce has seen to that. What planet are you living on, pal? Because it's not this one. Modern women want to be overpowered. They do? I have seen no evidence of this. She wants to be flipped over, her pants pulled down, and repeatedly stuffed with a hard rod. This guy is such an idiot. You're an idiot, pal. You try that, you're going to get accused of rape, okay? Women don't like that shit. They might fantasize, but they don't really like it, okay? This is a bunch of crap. You can't treat women like that nowadays. And by the way, there's still an issue of consent. If a woman consented, fine, I'll rip her pants off and bang the shit out of her, but it ain't going to change what she is, and it isn't going to change the system that favors her and not you. So you might be in control in that situation, but then you get outside of it and the rest of your life sucks. So what MGTOW men are saying is that giving up the other 23 and a half hours of my life is not worth a little sex, even if it's good sex, half an hour a week, or however much he's giving it to you. And however much he's giving it to you isn't going to be all that much when compared to the rest of the time where you're going to be disadvantaged. And you're going to be treated like crap. So what's the point? Women need discipline in the same way that children need discipline. I agree, but there's no way that you can give it to them. You can't punish them. There's no consequences for their actions. There's no consequences that you can put onto them. Without consequences, there can be no discipline. Good luck trying to get her to do the right things, to act like an adult. Like someone who will suffer consequences from their actions, who is logical and reasonable. There have to be actual consequences for bad actions. And if those bad actions are not only not attached to any consequences, but if you are essentially incentivized to act badly, there's nothing you can do. Of course, he's very vague. He says, just do this, do that, discipline her. And how? Get into the how. How? Tell me how. Oh, I'm sure it's in your book, the how. I'm sure that's equally bullshit. There is no how without some kind of consequence. MGTOW men, when you stand staunch and strong and guide these poor souls, they will yield to you. No, they won't, because they have all the power, okay? It's like you got a giant St. Bernard and a little tiny fucking Chihuahua. You know those little Chihuahuas that you see those rich women carrying around in their fucking handbags? Yeah. So the man is little Chihuahua, and the woman is this big giant dog. Now, how are you going to get this big giant fucking Rottweiler to accede to your wishes when there's this little tiny fucking Chihuahua? I mean, this big fucking dog can put you in its mouth in one bite and chew on you and spit you out, and you're this gnarled mass of bloody pulp and bone. It's ridiculous. This guy's ridiculous. They look up to you and they will serve you. No, they won't. And you don't have any secrets that we don't know. Trust me, you just want to sell a crappy book. You have inside you, as every man does, the potential to restore the natural balance of humanity. That's right. And you want to know how we do it? We go our own way, buddy. You will restore this balance with your cock and your hand. No, we will not. I'm sorry to say it's been tried and failed. That is a myth. That is an illusion. It is an illusion and myth to get men to get into and stay in relationships and continue to try to make them work in every way, shape, and form possible, only to find that it doesn't work. Or would you rather sit alone and disenfranchised? I'm not disenfranchised, you idiot. So he's associating being alone with being disenfranchised. So if you're alone, you're disenfranchised. You're not disenfranchised if you're in a relationship, but she takes all your shit and disenfranchises you. Interesting logic, Mr. Hand. Would you prefer to continue to pretend that you are satisfied with mere hookups and game? Pretend? You think I'm pretending, buddy? Buddy, oh boy. I get the pussy and I fuck the pussy and then I leave the pussy behind. I boot the pussy out the door and then I do what I want to do with my life. That's it. I'm not a slave to my hormones. And yes, I am quite happy, very content with hookups and game, or whatever the hell else you want to call it. What else is there? There's nothing else. And to believe there is a myth. It's bullshit. Would you not rather be king in your own house? Guess what? I already am the king in my house. Duh! In my household, I am king, and my woman serves me, he says. I have my cock suckled immediately upon my instruction. I have my favorite food served to me at my whim. No, you don't, pal. Bullshit. Unless she's like a paid servant. Is this woman like paid? Get out of here. He's talking about his maid. I fuck her when the urge takes me, and I never dream of asking for permission. This is just, so what? What's your point? And then you got to put up with this bitch the other 23 and a half hours of the fucking day. Or the other however many hours there are in a week. And you get maybe like a half hour, 1 hour of sex. And that's torture. Oh boy, where can I sign up? And these natural fruits of humanity are yours for the taking. Well, we have your word on that. And whoop-de-doo-dah if you do. That means you are a very rare outlier. You ever heard of an outlier? You are not the rule. You are an exception, even if what you just said is true, which I very much doubt. If I can take them, then you can take them too. So he's trying to portray himself as some kind of Casanova motherfucker. All right. I have a secret for you, MGTOW. You do? No, I don't think you do. 90% of modern women are naturally submissive. Bullshit. Women are not submissive these days. There might have been a time that they were, but they're not. 20% are mentally ill or socially programmed beyond redemption. 20? I think he needs to flip these numbers. 20% of modern women are naturally submissive, and 90% are mentally ill. There's a mistake here. He got his numbers mixed up. 50% can be easily reprogrammed to fulfill a submissive role using the proper methodology. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm no fucking shrink. And while I know a lot about psychology, it being a school of philosophy, I honestly could give a rat's motherfucking ass about putting my time and effort into trying to deprogram somebody. I'm very familiar with deprogramming. It often doesn't work. Look at all these nut jobs out there in the world following things like fucking Scientology and believing in Xenu and thetas and shit being dropped into volcanoes and being reincarnated inside human beings. It's all total bullshit, but they believe it. They've been programmed to believe it. Try deprogramming these people. Good luck. They live in these places and they make like 2 cents an hour and they got cockroaches running all around their fucking rooms and they sleep on the floor on a fucking mat or an old urine-soaked mattress. Meanwhile, that Miskovich motherfucker that runs the whole goddamn thing is a billionaire living in a fucking palace. And all these dummies still adhere to this bullshit because they've been programmed. And you think I want to take my time to reprogram some bitch? There's no real great benefit to being in a relationship to begin with. In my household, I am king, and my woman serves me. Bullshit, buddy. You serve her. And you are fooling yourself if you think that you don't. This guy is full of shit. Full of shit. Unless maybe he's living in the fucking Philippines or some other place where they make like $2 a day, and you know his middle income salary makes him look like some rich dude. Then maybe she'll fucking service you in these ways. But that's it. Western women? No, they will not. Not ever. 20% are already aware of their submissive nature and are sick to the hilt of modern feminism and the empowerment they are forced to bear. This isn't actually correct. I'm having to stop and input words because this guy's grammar is shit and he's got lots of mistakes, so I'm having to correct a lot of what he's written here. But he wrote a book and you should buy it. So that is 70% of all women who are readily waiting and craving for you to take charge, pull their pants down and put them over your knee. Really? You want to know what's going to happen if I date some chick, bring her back to my place, and I grab her, put her over my knee, and I start to beat her? This guy is a fucking moron, especially if it's a Western woman. But Rodney, you say, are you fucking mad? No, Rodney, I don't say you're mad. I say you're a fucking moron. But anyway, these women are sassy bitches. How the hell am I to reprogram them into being my submissives? Well, you're in luck, says Rodney. I have ready for you a simple model for a male-led relationship. Do you now? Feminism is already dead, he goes on to say. Really? I think Rodney is living in a fantasy land and he's not really clued into reality because feminism is far from dead. It's morphing, it's changing, and it's now calling itself anti-feminism the same way that fascists are now calling themselves anti-fascists. It's in no way dead. Less women are simply identifying as feminists, but there's more of them than ever. You're wrong, Rodney. the modern male-led relationship is the way of the future. No. No, it's not. Don't cast your God-given masculinity to the ashes and identify as MGTOW. Wait. So, me going MGTOW is casting away my masculinity. You see, this book is just another tradcon, bullshit manifesto. Okay, it's just this guy trying to associate being a man with having a woman. And not even having a woman, because I fuck women plenty enough. He's trying to associate being a man with being in a long-term relationship. So he's nothing more than another tradcon. Every man is and always has been the head of his household. What are you talking about? I am the head of my household, you idiot. That there happens to be nobody else in it is irrelevant. That's how I want it. I don't want to constantly be fighting for control from some bitch who has been indoctrinated into the belief that she's some kind of special genius and that she can do everything as well as me and that she's actually superior. That's what she's been taught. And it's total nonsense. And it's going to be a fight all the time. Fuck that shit. I live my life. I'm happy to live my life. And I don't have to deal with some other person trying to fuck my life up. This book, I have no interest in reading it. More traditional conservative nonsense. And Rodney Hand, I don't believe a word of your bullshit. You're trying to sell a book, nothing more, and you're trying to paint a picture that makes your particular view of things very attractive when you're just some guy sitting at home making love to your hand, hence your name. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think Rodney is choosing that route because this shit, his advice, is total nonsense. Go your own way, Rodney. Bang chicks, or choose to love your hand, or choose a fleshlight, or whatever the hell else gets you off. But don't sit here and tell us that all this bullshit works when all us MGTOW guys know that you are spouting crap. I am the MGTOW philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.